Good morning, Year 6. I hope you've had a lovely weekend and welcome to week 4 of home learning. Today we're going to start with reasoning and problem solving. I would like you to look at the slides, have a go at the questions. If there's any that you 100% know you know how to calculate, then just skip through. If you're unsure, please rewind and have another look. Good luck. So the first questions we're going to look at today for reasoning and problem solving are negative numbers. So here is part of a temperature scale. It's got A, -5, 0, +5. What is the temperature shown at A? So if we find our 0, we have to find out what the scale's counting up in or counting down in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's counting in ones. And we need to find out what -A is. So from 0 to 5 is 5, and then 6, 7. So A is -7. What temperature is 20 degrees higher than A? So we need to use our scale, always use the 0. So here, from A to 0, we have 7. And then from this 0 is our positive side. So we need to find out 7 from 20. Well, 20 subtract 7 equals 13. So we need 13 on our positive side. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It counts up to 8. And we just have to use our brains for the rest. So 7 here on the negative side, add 13 more, would be the difference of 20 degrees. And that would give us a positive 13. Our next one. A and B are two numbers on a number line below. So we have A, we have B, and we have our 0. The difference between A and B is 140. So this difference is 140. Write the values of A and B. So we have to find out how many spaces there are between 140. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 spaces between 140. So we need to divide 7 into 140 to find the value of each individual space. 7 doesn't go into 1. 7 goes into 14 twice, and 7 doesn't go into 0. So each individual space has a value of 20. So if we did 20, 40, 60, 80, we have our value of B as a positive 60. Then we have -20, -40, -60, -80, -100, -120. So A is a -80. Okay, here is a table of temperatures at dawn on the same day. What is the difference in temperature between London and Paris? So we have London and we have Paris. And if we had a number line, we have our 0, we have our -4 for London, and our +6 for Paris. Now it's telling us that the value of this side on the negative side is 4, and the value on the positive side is 6. So we need to add those together. So the difference in temperature between London and Paris is 10 degrees. At noon, the temperature in New York is risen by 5 degrees. What is the temperature in New York at noon? So we have noon at -9, put our number line, and we have our -9, and we've got to count 5 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be -4. Okay, the table shows the temperature at 9 a.m. on 3 days in January, the 1st of January, the 8th and the 15th. So the 1st of January it was +5, the 8th was -4, 15th +1. What is the difference between the temperature on the 1st of January and the temperature on the 8th of January? So on the 1st of January it's positive 5, and on the 8th of January it's negative 4. So if we have our number line and we have our positive 5 on this side and our negative 4 on this side, there is 4 to 0 here, there is 5 to 0 here, and we add those together and that's going to be a difference of 9. Okay, our next question. What was the temperature on the 22nd of January? So if we look on the 15th here, we have our 22nd here. On the 22nd of January, the temperature was 7 degrees lower than on the 15th of January. So we're saying 7 degrees lower. So we have a positive 1 and we need to subtract 7 from that. So if we had 7, that's going to be a little difficult to know. So if we just pop it around, because we know if we start with a lower number in subtraction, it's going to be a negative answer. So if we do it the positive way first, just to help us out, 7 subtract 1 is 6, but we know when we start with a negative number, it's going to be a negative answer. Sorry, we know when it's going to start with a smaller number in subtraction, it's going to be a negative answer. So 1 subtract 7 is going to be negative 6. This will work on quite a lot of numbers. If you had to have a more difficult one, like 33, positive 33, and we needed to subtract that from 8. 8 is smaller than 33, so if we did it this way around first, we did 8 from 33, so 3 from 33 would bring us to 30, and then 5, it would give us 25. Therefore, that would give us a negative 25. It's just another little trick to help you out. Okay, this is where you're going to have a go. I'd like you to pause this slide and have a go at these questions. Okay, let's see how you've done with these answers. So the first one, put these temperatures in order starting with the lowest. So if we look at these numbers and we try and put them on a number line, 0 will go in the centre. Then we have a look at our negative numbers. So negative 13, and then it would be negative 24. And on this side, it would be positive 21 and positive 35. So we're going to start here, negative 24, negative 13, a 0, positive 21, and positive 35. Here is part of a temperature scale. What is the temperature shown at A? So we have 0 to 5, and then 6, 7, and this is on the negative side, so this is negative 7. Two thermometers show the temperature inside and outside a greenhouse on a day in January. So let's have a look at the temperature scales first. So as we can see, we've got our negatives down here, and then we've got our positives. So let's see what the scale's counting in. It's saying 2's at the side, but it's got a little 1 in between. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then 11. So this one is a positive 11. So this one is our negative, and then we're going to our positive, and this is a positive 2. So this, how many degrees warmer was it inside the greenhouse than outside? So inside was 11, outside was 2, so we do a simple subtraction, and the answer is 9. Because they're both on the positive side of the scale. Later, the temperatures were inside was -1 and outside was -8. What is the difference between these two temperatures? If we did -1 subtract -8 equals, I'll subtract in there. If you flip it around and you do it as we did on the previous page, we did 8 subtract 1, you would get 7, but it's going to be a negative, so 1 minus 8, so that means it's going to be -7. So flipping it around really supports us with these calculations. Well done if you got those correct. Okay, the next questions we're going to look at involve circles. A circle is a 2D curved shape. The perimeter of a circle is called a circumference. The distance across the circle passing through the centre is called the diameter, and the distance from the centre of the circle to the circumference is called the radius. And as you can see here, we've got a labelled circle. Now if you want to draw one of these in your book to support you, it'd be fantastic, or you might just want to use this. Okay, so we have the arc, the sector, the radius, the diameter, the chord, the segment and the circumference. So this would be your circumference all the way around. Then this would be your diameter right across, and then this would be your radius halfway. So have a look at this slide, and it's got circles. Calculate the missing radius, diameter and circumference of these pizzas. And here's our hint. Use the formula 3.14 times diameter, and this will be pi, to work out the circumference of a circle. So we have here the radius. The radius is from the middle of the circle to the outside of the circle, which we call the circumference. So the radius they're telling us is 10, and the diameter would be the whole way across. So we'd have to double 10, and that would give us a 20. And then, as it's shown here, the circumference is 3.14 times 20, and that is 62.8. I'd like you to pause the video, use this information to support you and work out these calculations. Okay, so let's see how you've coped with these calculations, because they are a little bit tough. So the diameter, it's telling us, is 22. That's the whole way across. So to find the radius, we need to half this. So half of 22 is 11. Then the circumference, 3.14 times 22. So you could use a simple long multiplication. 2 4s are 8, 2 1s are 2, keep that decimal. 2 3s are 6, and then we put our magic 0 in. 2 4s are 8, 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6, and we add that together. And we get 69.08. And we pop that 69.08 centimetres. Well done if you got that correct. So let's get this one. The radius is 15, so the diameter, we have to double it, so it would be 30. And then that would be 3.14 times 30. Now, you could do that using place value. You could use your place value chart. Hundreds, tens, units, thousands, ones. You can have units or ones here, whichever you prefer. So we pop in our 3.14 and we move everything to the left once, and you could times that by 3, or you could use simple long multiplication, times it by 30, so everything's going to be 0 to start with, and then we put our 0 in. 3 4s are 12, 3 1s are 3, and 1 is 4, 3 3s are 9, and the answer here would be 94.20 centimetres. Okay, the next one. Diameter is 36, that's the whole way across. we need to find the radius, which is half of 36. So divided by 2 equals 18. And then our circumference, 3.14 times 36. And you will need your long multiplication for this. So 6 fours are 24, 6 ones are 6, and 2 is 8. In our decimal, 6 threes are 18. 3 fours are 12, 3 ones are 3 and 1 is 4, 3 threes are 9. So 4, 10, 13, 11. So 113.04 centimetres. Okay, we have our radius 17, that's halfway. We need to find the whole way, so we double 17, and that would be 34. Then you have to times it by 3.14 to get the diameter. Four fours are 16, 4 ones are 4 and 1 is 5, decimal point. 4 threes are 12, magic 0. 3 fours are 12, 3 ones are 3 and 1 is 4, decimal in, and 3 threes are 9. Add those together and it's 106.76 centimetres. And now we're going to look at the last one. I hope you've been doing well with these. Okay, so we have our diameter at 48, that's the whole way across. We need to find halfway. So half of 48, you can halve it in your head, or you could do a quick bus stop. So 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So it'd be 24 centimetres. And the circumference, 3.14 times 48. So 3.14 times 48. So 8 fours, 32. 8 ones are 8, 3 is 11. 8 threes are 24 and 1 is 25. Magic 0. 4 fours are 16. 4 ones are 4 and 1 is 5. 4 threes are 12. So add those together. Two, 7, decimal, 10, 5, 1. So it'll be 150.72 centimetres. I hope you've enjoyed doing those, and I hope you've managed to work out how we do it. Well done if you got those correct. And the next questions we're going to look at involve angles. So I've put these on for help sheets. So an acute angle is less than 90 degrees, obtuse measures greater than 90 and less than 180. Reflex angles measure greater than 180, and then angles on a straight line are 180. Angles around a point, that's your whole angle, 360. Opposite angles are always the same, that share a vertex. It's this here, and here we go here. And a quarter turn is 90 degrees, half turn 180 degrees, 3/4 turn 270, and a whole turn 360. The inside of a triangle adds up to 180, quadrilateral 360, and this is the one that we need to listen to. Angles in regular polygons. As the number of sides of a polygon increases by 1, the total of the interior angles increases by 180. When n equals number of sides, this formula can be used to find the size of each angle in a regular polygon. So the number of interior angles is these, n minus 2 times 180. So a pentagon has got 5 sides, and a normal quadrilateral would have 360. A pentagon's got one more angle, so that would be the 360 add 180, which give you 540. Then a hexagon, for 4 it was 360, that's your quadrilateral, and then a hexagon's got 2 extra sides, so you're adding on an extra 360. So 360 add 360, 720. Using a protractor, place the circle on the cross at the point of an angle you are measuring. Read from the 0 on the outer scale of your protractor. Count to the degree lines carefully. Okay, as we've shown in school, this is at your point, and whichever one is shown as 0, if it's this one or this one, that's where you count. So here are some angle questions that we're going to complete together, and then you're going to have some to complete independently. So this first angle is on a straight line, so it's going to be out of 180. And it's given us one of the angles, which is 31, and we need to subtract that from 180 to find the answer to x. So we can't take 1 from 0. Becomes 10, that becomes 7. So 1 from 10 is 9, 3 from 7 is 4, and we drop our 1. So x equals 149. Easy. So our next one, straight line again. This time it's given us 2 angles, and we know our right angle is 90. So 90 add 41. So we've got 131. We need to subtract that from 180 to find x. So we can't take 1 from 0. So 1 from 10 is 9. 3 from 7 is 4. So x equals 49. We've got a straight line again. We've got 2 of the angles. We've got 41. We've got 57. We need to add those together. That's 98. And we need to subtract that from 180. Can't take 8 from 0. 8 from 10 is 2. Can't take 9 from 7. 9 from 17 is 8. So x equals 82. And then this one, we have 149, and this is a straight line. Don't be confused just because we've got another line across. So 180 subtract 149. 9 from 10 is 1. 4 from 7 is 3. 1 from 1 is 0. So x equals 31. Okay, let's have a look at these ones. Find the value of x. So these ones are around a point, so they're out at 360. So we've got 128, so we subtract that from 360. So 8 from 10 is 2, 2 from 5 is 3, 1 from 3 is 2, so x equals 232. Okay, our next one, let's have a look at what we've already got. This equals 90, so we need to add all of these together first. So we've got 90, 63, 42, and 61. Okay, 1 add 2 is 3, and 3 is 6. 6 add 4 is 10. and 6 is 16, and 9 is 25. So we have 360, subtract 256. 6 from 10 is 4, 5 from 5 is 0, 3 from 2 is 1. So x equals 104. Okay. Right, now let's have a look at this one. So we're going to need to use our knowledge of a straight line to support us with this one. So we've got a straight line in the middle here. So we've got 144 here, so we will do 180 subtract 144. So 4 from 10 is 6, 4 from 7 is 3. 1 from 1 is 0, so x equals 36, and y, we've got 49 here, so 180 subtract 49. 9 from 10 is 1, 4 from 7 is 3, and 1. So y equals 131. Now if we added all of those 4 values together, 5 values together, we would get 360. Okay, let's have a look at the triangles. So a triangle is 180, and it's given us 2 of the values. We've got 52 and we've got 27. We need to add those together. 7 and 2 is 9, 5 and 2 is 7. We need to subtract that from 180. So 9 from 10 is 1, 7 from 7 is 0, and we have our 1. So x equals 101. And here, don't let this scare you, it's not scary. So we'll find out the inside first. So 78 add 42. So 120. So as we know, the inside of a triangle is 180. So 180 subtract 120 leaves us 0 from 0, 2, and it's 60. So this one in here would be 60. And if we have a look on a straight line, that whole angle would be, so the inside would be 60. So it'd be 180 subtract 60. 6 from 8 is 2. So x equals 120. This next one is going to be out of 360 because it's a quadrilateral. So it's given us, we know this is 90. So we've got 79, 90, and 133. So 9 add 3 is 12. And 9 add 1 is 10, and 3 is 13, and 7 is 20. So we've got 302 and we need 360, so we need to subtract that. 360. Lots of you will be able to do this in your head, I hope. 2 from 0 we can't do. 2 from 10 is 8. 0 from 5 is 5, and 3 from 3 is 3. So x equals 58. Okay, have a look at this one. It's not scary as it looks. So we know around a point is 360 and it's given us 304. So 360 subtract 304. So we can't do 4 from 0. So 4 from 10 is 6. 0 from 5 is 5, and 3 from 3. So the inside here would be a value of 56. Now remember, opposite angles are always the same. So the opposite angle to this is x. So x equals 56. And the inside, the whole of the inside is worth 360. So if we've got two 56s, so we double that. 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10, and 1 is 11. We've got 112. We need to subtract that from 360. So 2 from 10 is 8. 1 from 5 is 4. 1 from 3 is 2. So these last two angles are shared between 248. So we can halve that, or we can divide it by 2 using your bus stop. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So y equals 124. Okay, let's see how you've done with these. So this is a straight line, so it's out of 180. So 180 subtract 31. 10 is 9. So x equals 49. 180 again. So 88 add 43. Need to subtract 131. And x equals 49. And this one's out of 360. It's given us 82. It's out of 360 because it's around a point. So we need to subtract 8 from 10. Sorry, 2 from 8. If 2 from 10 is 8, I'll get there in a minute. 8 from 5 we can't do. 8 from 15 is 7. And we drop our 2. So x equals 278. And here we need to add these up first. So we've got 63 and 75 and 129. So 9 and 5 is 14 and 3 is 17. 2 and 1 is 3 and 7 is 10 and 6 is 16. And that's 267. So 360 subtract 267. So 7 from 10 is 3, 6 from 5 we can't do, 6 from 15 is 9, so x equals 93. And here we have a triangle which is out of 180. And we need to add the two given ones up first, so we've got 36 and 83. 6 and 3 is 9. 8 and 3 is 11. So we need to subtract that from 180. So 9 from 10 is 1. 1 from 7 is 6. 1 from 1 is 0. So x equals 61. And here we have an isosceles triangle. That's what gives it away. It's telling us that one side is 88. So we'll look at the inside of the triangle to start with the supporters. So 180 subtract 88. 8 from 10 is 2. Can't take 8 from 7. 8 from 17 is 9. And now we have to divide that by 2 to find the other two shapes. So 2 goes into 9 4 times. And 2 goes into 12 6 times. So each of these would have a value of 46. And now this is on a straight line. To find the value of x, 180 subtract 46. 6 from 10 is 4, 4 from 7 is 3, and now 1. So x equals 134. So these are your 3 steps. And this one here is a quadrilateral. It's out of 360. And it's given us 116, 81 and 47. So 7 add 1 is 8, add 6 is 14, 8 add 4 is 12, add 1 is 13, add 1 is 14, 1 add 1 is 2. So we need to have our 360 subtract 244. You can't take 4 from 0. 4 from 10 is 6, 4 from 5 is 1, 2 from 3 is 1. So x equals 116. And we have a quadrilateral again, which is out of 360. But on this one, we have 2 sets of parallel angles. So if we have a look, we've got 58. So this is parallel. So they're both going to be 58. So y equals 58. And to find out x, we'd have 58 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16, 5 times 2 is 10, and 1 is 11. So we would subtract 116 from 360. 6 from 10 is 4, 1 from 5 is 4, and 2. And we'd have to do a quick bus stop. So divide by 2. 2 goes into 1 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 4 twice. So the value of these two would be 122 each. So y equals 58 and x equals 122. Well done if you got those correct. So our next reasoning and problem solving questions we're going to look at are Roman numerals. We have to remember Roman numerals use 7 different letters to indicate numbers, and then they use those combined with each other to make different bigger numbers. The tips for Roman numerals are: if a larger symbol is followed by a smaller symbol, we just add them. If the larger symbol is followed by the same symbol, we add them. And if the small symbol is followed by a larger symbol, we subtract. And that's what we need to do. They are the tricks we need to remember. Okay, so here are some questions I'm going to go through with you, and then you're going to complete your independent questions. So the first one, at the end of a film, the year is given in Roman numerals. The end, MMVI. So write the year MMVI in figures. So first of all, I need to recap on the Roman numerals. So I equals 1, V equals 5, X equals 10, L equals 50, C equals 100, D equals 500, and M equals 1000. And I have to also remember to add, it must be larger followed by small or the same. Then to subtract, it must be a smaller number followed by a larger. So they're the tips I need to support me to answer these questions. So M, V, I. I'm just going to spread them out like that to make it easier. So M is 1000, so I've got 1000 and 1000. And V is 5 and I is 1. Now I just need to simply add those together. 1000, 1000 is 2000, add 5 is 2005, add 1 is 2006. Okay, next one I'm going to look at is, here is a number written in Roman numerals. CXV, write the number in figures. So again, I'm going to use my chart here to support me. So C is 100, X is 10, and V is 5. This is a straightforward addition again. 100 add 10 is 110, add 5 is 115. So now I'm going to look here at this chart. So I've got to work out in each box and circle the number that is greater, and one has been done for me. So the one that's done for me is saying XIV is smaller than XVI. This is the greater number. And this one is smaller. So now I've got to work out with the rest of the numbers. So XIV, so X is 10, I is 1, and V is 5. So now I need to use this to support me. So X is 10, and it's followed by I, which is the value of 1, and then it's followed by 5. So 10, so we have to subtract here. So 5 add 1 is 4. So I'll add 10, so this one is the value of 14. Now here XI, X, so I've got X, got I, and I've got X, so that's 10, and 10 subtract 1, which is 19. So my bigger side is here. And now I've got CIX, so C is 100, I is 1, and X is 10. So I've got 100, and then I've got 10 subtract 1, and that is 109. Then LXV, L is 50, X is 10, V is 5, add those together, that gives me 65, so the biggest number is this one. XCI, so X is 10, C is 100, so I need to subtract those, so that's going to be 90, and I is 1, so this is going to be 91. I've got XLIX, so X is 10, L is 50, I need to subtract these, so this is going to be 40. Then I've got I, which is 1, and X, which is 10, I need to subtract those, which is 9, and this is 49. So the bigger number is this side. Okay, now it's your turn. I'm going to write the chart down the middle to support you. So I equals 1, V equals 5, X equals 10, L equals 50, C equals 100, D equals 500, and M equals 1000. And two numbers the same, add, bigger number, followed by smaller, add, smaller, followed by bigger, subtract. Okay, I want you to pause the video and have a go. Use this information to support you. Okay, let's see how you've done. So we've got X equals 10. We've got V equals 5. And we've got 1, well, I is 1, 1. So this would be 17. Here are 4 numbers written in numerals. Write the numbers in order starting with the smallest. So first of all, we have to find the value of the numbers. So we have X, which is 10, and C, which is 100. So we need to subtract those, so that is 90. And we have I, and we have I, which is 1 add 1, which is 2. So the first one is 92. XX, easy peasy, 20. X, 10, and V is 5. And 1 and 1 is 7, so this is 17. We have C, which is 100, X, which is 10, I, which is 1, and this is 111. So we've got to order these smallest to largest. So the smallest is XVI, then it's going to be XX, then it's going to be XCII, and then CXI. Here are some Roman numerals. numbers written in Roman numerals. Circle the closest to 500. So which is the closest Roman numeral to 500? Let's work them out. So C is 100. D is 500. So we need to subtract those. So the first one is 400. So C is 100. D is 500. Subtract those. You've got 400. X is 10. And C is 100. So that would be 90. So this one is 490. And L is 50. X is 10. I is 1. So this would be 61. And D is 500. I is 1 and X is 10. They would be subtracted. That would be 9. And this would be 509. So which is the closest to 500? And that is going to be 509. That's 9 away from 500, 439 away, 10 away, 100 away. So let's have a look at this addition. XV add 1x. So x is 10, v is 5. So this side is 15. Add I is 1, x is 10, and this would be a subtraction, so this would be 9. So 15 add 9 equals 24, and we have to write our answer in Roman numerals. So the x 1 1 1 1, or the shorter way would be x v 1 1. Okay, the next one. The table shows some years written in figures and in Roman numerals. Complete the table. So the first one's done for us. Now we need to find out what 2007 would be. So, first of all, we look at our thousands, which is M. So we would have M, that's 2000. And then we would have to make up our 7, which would be a 5, which is V, and 2 I's. Now they've given us the Roman numeral, and we have to work this out to find out what the number is in figures. So we've got 1,000 and 1,000, so that would be 2,000. Then we've got C, which is 100, and we're adding on 3 X's, which would be 130. And then we've got a V on the end, which is 5. So we need to add those together to find out our number. So 2,130 is 2,130, add 5 is 2,135. Okay, now we've got 1999 or 1,999. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got to look at our 1,000, so we've got to have our M. And if we had our MC, that would give us 19, because that's 1,000 take away 100. MC would give us a 1,900. Then we would have to make the 90. So we would have to have a look, and we would have to have our X and C. So it would have to be C and X, which would make 90, and I and X, which would make 9. Oops, sorry, we need another M in there. And to make 9, it would be IX. So that would be 1,990 and 9. Put those together, we would have our 1,999. Well done if you got those correct. Now Year 6, go and have a go at your reasoning and problem solving questions. You have about 40 minutes. Good luck.